Greetings, everyone. We're here with the Coast Life show with you, which is your guide to all things coastside. And we're going to be showing you, presenting you different things we've been doing so far. So stay with us. So, our first presentation.
We have been all over the coast, particularly in the Bay Area. And we've gone from marine reserves, we've gone to different festivals, we've gone to skate museums. And so today we're going to start off with our first presentation, which will be the brand new Skate Museum.
Yes. It is named after its establishers, NHS, which stands for Novak, Hout, and Sherman. Sherman died, unfortunately, but it has been here for the past 47 years. It's a very interesting show. It's a very interesting museum, and it tells history of so many cars, trucks, skateboarders, and such and such. So without any other talking, you guys can go and watch it. Here's the video.
Ron Whaley. I work for NHS. I'm brand manager of Crux Trucks. NHS owns many brands: Santa Cruz Skateboards, Independent Trucks, Richter Wheels, OJ Wheels, Crux Trucks, NorCal Clothing. This is NHS. This is our skateboarding museum here. It was made in honor of our 40th anniversary. And let's cruise and take a look at things. So, NHS, you see over here, stands for Novak, Hout, and Sherman, the three original founders of NHS. Richard Sherman passed away. Oh, and here you can see, this is the museum being built. It was all ramps at first, and we got to actually skate it, and then flip the ramps on the side, and you'll kind of see the museum is. But it was pretty wild. Like, you know, upstairs is the mezzanine, and you know, accounting, sales, all those offices, and at lunchtime we'd be skating in here, banging around, making a bunch of noise. Another huge part of NHS is independent trucks. So Mark Widman, who designed this whole museum, he was a sculpture major, and he actually made that all out of old trucks. Yeah, man, I think it weighs like 700 pounds or something ridiculous. Some of the first Santa Cruz skateboards. We reissued some of these not too long ago, but some of these are the original ones from the 70s. You have to say that Santa Cruz Skateboard's success was Jim Phillips, huge part of that. So we're going to be looking at some of his graphics in Phillips Studios. Jim Phillips Sr. So one special thing about the museum and why it's all ramps is because it was built by skaters, for skaters, and that's what this whole company is based on. So, it's not open to the public, but if you want to take the virtual tour, it's online at museum.nhs-inc.com.
3, 2, and 1.
So, how did you like it?
I thought it was interesting. I like the idea of there being a skate museum. You know, you don't really see a lot of those. It's usually, you know, something more historical. You know, you go to, like, you have stuff about the American Revolution, you got stuff about different periods in history, but there's one about skating, and I think it's fitting that it is here because this is a huge skating community. And so it makes sense for it to take place here.
It makes sense to teach the little kids about the history of it too, the fact that it exists. So we're going to our next presentation, and it's by the name. Have you seen they call it the coolest show on earth. You heard of that?
Yes, I have heard that. You are speaking of cops.
Yes, I think you said the coolest show for you was cops, but this one right here I'm about to tell you, whenever it happens every year, there's going to be 2,000 flying, working, different kinds of machines, cars, airplanes, and people. It's a very interesting and magnificent show. That's why I said it's the coolest show on earth.
Coolest, okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
Have you been at the Dream Machines?
I have not been to the Dream Machines, no.
Well, you'll be surprised now that we will see the video. So let's see the video together with our viewers.
Good loving, sweet loving man like me. You know it is. Yeah, you know it is.
Hello, I'm here with Pacific Coast Television, and I'm here with Tim, and he's the organizer of this whole thing. So, Tim, can you tell us a little about this event here?
Well, it's unlike anything, really. There's cars, trucks, motorcycles, aircraft, engines, tractors. It's just an incredible array of machinery. Every gearhead fan around is going to love it.
So I am here with Miss Janie, who is the executive director of the organization that the proceeds of Dream Machines will go to. Can you please let us know what your organization is and what cause it wants to raise awareness?
Yes. We serve the frail, the elderly, and the disabled. And so they come, it's sort of like a day program, and they come for the day, and we offer them comprehensive health services.
The Coastside Adult Day Health Center is the beneficiary. We have nonprofits doing, food and game booths as well, but it's really primarily for them. So, and it's a huge fundraiser for them. So it's great to see everyone come together to make this thing happen, and everybody out here having a good time.
Dream Machines started 28 years ago when the Coastside Adult Day Health Center really needed some money. So Bob Sins started a car show, and here we are. It started with like 20 cars, and here we are with probably 1,000 show cars and airplanes and all kinds of Dream Machines.
This is a 1964 Shelby Cobra, 289. This is the car that won the championship in 64 and 65. This is a 1996 Excalibur, which is a Cobra copy, licensed by Shelby, built in Milwaukee. There's about 142 of them. That is an MGTC from 1948. My father raced a car very much like this, only a different color. And it's probably one of my favorite cars to drive on a daily basis. And that is an 86 Mercedes 420 SEL, last of the hand-built Mercedes Cruisers. And it's just a great car to take to Tahoe.
So we're showing off our 2019 robots, which compete in a game called Destination Deep Space. We have game objects we need to manipulate and challenges we need to complete in terms of climbing and moving around the field and crossing lines and things like that. And we have to work with the other teams that we get assigned at our competitions to do the best that we can to try and advance as far as we can.
There are a few reasons why it was important to show up at Dream Machines today. The first is it's very, very important to show off these cool innovations to the younger generation of children. There are obviously lower level competitions, but it's very, very important to show these kids that they can create something really big and cool, which can actually do something, and that will get them started on the STEM path and to learning these very important skills and bettering our world.
So how was Dream Machines?
It was interesting. I was expecting it to be more about cars, and what I found out by watching the video was that there was actually so much more than that. They had the robots, they had the school programs coming, and they were displaying what they had made. They had an ATV race. I saw that at the end.
It was a lot of talent.
It was cars, and then it had a bunch of little things into it, and I think that made it more inclusive, I think. More people could come because there was more to relate to.
I agree with you 100%. So I'm going to say this word to you. Kapuna. Sorry.
Hakuna Matata means no worries.
I am really sorry about that. I couldn't say the word.
Kahuna Kupuna.
Kahuna
Kupuna. Okay, so we can start it right here.
I don't know what is happening.
No, the word, I couldn't say the word. Kahuna Kupuna. Let's go.
We'll just keep going, I guess.
All right. Kahuna Kupuna.
Means no worries.
No, you're wrong. Hakuna Matata means don't worry. Kahuna Kupuna came from a Hawaiian word, which means big chief and wise elder. It actually is specifically designed for people that are surfing right now, but they are over the age 40. So Kahuna Kupuna has been a festival that has been going on for a little while here. The 20th annual festival happened here in Half Moon Bay, and people from the age of 40 to 70 actually participated in it. It's very interesting to see elderly people actually go through that.
I did not know that. I did not know people over 70 surfed. I really did not know that.
Well, yeah, the creator himself, Ernest, he has been retired and he's 50 years old and still working and making it bigger, and he is still surfing, interestingly. So since you missed it, you might as well watch the video with our viewers.
All right.
All right, let's go for it.
That was all he missed. He ain't coming back. That's just joint fire and make a party made us up. Just long enough to grab a handle off the top. Next time, Chi-Town leader, put the money down, let it roll. And one more time, one last shot. One more road.
So what are you doing here at Kahuna Kupuna?
Well, I'm here to surf with all these great people, a super friendly event, lots of, all ages, and it really celebrates folks who are, getting on in their year.
Yeah, and have you been surfing for a long time?
30 years maybe.
30 years, wow. So the pros are basically out there right now in the water.
Well, it's one of the local surf competitions, plus it's one that specifically was set up for people who are 40 years old and older. And so we do it by age groups, which is really cool because then, even if you're in your 50s or your 60s, you can surf against folks your own age. So that makes it, a little easier.
It's great because it's an intergenerational heat. So it has people from all different age groups, and you all go out as the same team. So no one's really competing against each other, and it's just like a really fun, good time to enjoy the beach.
Could you tell us a little bit about the fundraising that's going on here at Kahuna Kupuna?
So the recipient, all the net funds is Pacifica's Environmental Family, and they've been around here since the 90s. I'm on the board, and one of my responsibilities as a board member is help raise money. So I decided that this would be a good way to do it and a fun way to do it, and so the money supports the environmental family's operating expenses throughout the year, the insurance and the bookkeeper and all those things. Plus, it helps pay for special events that the environmental family hosts throughout the year.
I'm an ambassador for the Fallen Watermen's Foundation, and what our foundation is trying to do is to build a big enough endowment that we can sponsor fallen watermen or women's children. If they pass away, we'll help the children get through college. We'll also help the family with some therapy and some funeral costs if we can get the foundation to have a full enough endowment. Then we could, just off the interest alone every year, we could be providing scholarships.
We do our own event in September called the Big Chill Out, and we raise funds for kind of waterborne nonprofits. The Surf Rider Foundation, the Pacifica Beach Coalition, and this group called Ride a Wave, which puts seriously handicapped kids in the water, actually, and teaches them how to surf.
So, when you're 40, are you going to surf?
Well, I'm scared of the ocean, so there's very little chance of going to surf. I actually tried surfing when I was much younger, and it was a traumatizing experience. But God bless those who do it, because...
Amen to that. I'll be doing it once I turn 50. Till then, I'll just stay out of the ocean as well.
Oh, there you go.
So here's the next presentation. It is known as the EcoFest. It has been here for more than 30 years, and it's the largest festival in New York. Because when it comes to keeping the planet safe and, you know, changing it for the better, it has been going on for the past 30 years, and it happened in Half Moon Bay recently as well.
And I think it's fitting for it to have happened in Half Moon Bay. There's a lot of coastal life here. There's a lot to be done. So
yes.
Without further ado, the video.
My name is Shell Cleve, and I'm the founder of Sea Hugger. Sea Hugger is a nonprofit organization working to combat marine plastic pollution. This machine, it has a trommel, and you put sand into it from the side, and you turn it, and basically it sifts the sand, and you're left with the microplastic, the styrofoam, the marine debris, and you filter out the marine debris. There's some organic material, and you're left with the things that are most dangerous to the marine ecosystem. And this is what the seabirds and the fish, the mammals are ingesting, and it's killing them. So we are here to show the big little dangers. These are things that you would not necessarily see. They're kind of hidden in the sand and in the grasses and the rocks. And they're very, very hard to extract. So this nurdle trommel is a really great device that actually cleans, and then it's also great awareness because it's a great visual tool, and once you see it, it's like you can't unsee it. You realize, oh my gosh, those aren't little rocks, those are pieces of styrofoam.
My name is Jack Johnson. I do edible food recovery on behalf of the Office of Sustainability for the County of San Mateo. Food means a lot of different things to different people, and there are a lot of emotions and psychological reactions that people have to food and to food waste. One of the things that the state of California has recognized is that since 40% of the amount of food that goes into our landfills was edible when it was thrown away, if we can get that food out of the waste stream and get it back into human consumption, which is the reason it was grown and processed for anyway, we will be able to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases that are associated with that and affect climate change in a positive way, and at the same time feed hungry people.
Hi, I'm Sam Casillas, the president of the Pacifica Land Trust, and our mission is to preserve and protect open space throughout Pacifica and the surrounding area. We currently are managing the Pedro Point headlands. We put a new system of trails up there with grants from the state, the county, and the city. And there's a new trail system up there now in the headlands that you can go up there with your family, with your dogs, and hike around. It's a great opportunity for enjoy the outdoors up there.
All right. So how did you see the EcoFest?
It was good. It was good. Everyone was happy.
Yes,
It's a rare thing these days. Everyone was very pleased to be there. Everyone had smiles on their faces. There was a kid with a wheelbarrow. He looked very happy.
That is true.
Either way, you know, if it was the wheelbarrow or if it was the event, good for him. Good for the kid with the wheelbarrow.
I understand. So what I liked the most about in the EcoFest was there was this line they put up there, and it said, "We need a little kelp." You'd assume they need help, but it says kelp. But then I was just wondering what the hell kelp is. So it is a tree, but it lives in the ocean, and then it's not even a tree. It doesn't have roots as well. It's just a brown algae, and then it grows 18 inches a day. So it's like a big forest in the ocean, but it's being harvested for preparing shampoos, toothpaste, and so many things for humans, pharmaceuticals. So only in California, they harvest about 70,000 to 100,000 tons a year. And once the kelp is gone from the ocean, a lot of things will be dead, but I guess the ecofist is working on making it survive and changing it, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
Speaking of nature, we have our next presentation that is also connected to nature and volunteers about nature, and it's known as the Fitzgerald Marine Anniversary. It was their 50 years. Can you imagine what it is to live for 50 years?
I can't.
Because
that's just, I don't see myself living that long, you know, just naturally me being a reckless man, living on the wild side. So.
Well, to your surprise, there are people who have lived for 50 years, non-recklessly, and they made it so this far was extremely connected to nature in a very safe place. And these people have grown together to form the Fitzgerald Group. And our next presentation is going to be about them. They have been willingly, by their own choice, connected to nature, working on saving it, and lived as friends for 50 years. And now they have celebrated their anniversary very recently, which was very, very, very nice. So we can be ready to see the video with our viewers right now.
This has been going on for more than 6 months, and the idea cropped up probably a year ago. Yeah, and the staff, it's been, I mean, I know you can tell it's a lot of work going on. This was pretty much all done internally with San Mateo County Parks and the Friends Group.
Let's see, it's the 50th year anniversary.
It is.
Yes, how does that make you feel?
I don't know, old, because I'm 56, but no, I'm kidding. So for me, it's this place has had several different evolutions or adaptations. It changes all the time. It's like the swells. Tide comes in and goes. But out in this area, since it's 50 years in, and we've actually kind of evolved with the times. So I guess if we're looking at 50 years, I'm going, it's pretty remarkable.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're here with PCT, Pacific Coast TV. We are making a segment on the Fitzgerald Marine Reserve 50th anniversary. Stay with us. Today you're here for the Fitzgerald Marine Reserve. So what is your connection with today's event?
Yeah, so the new leaf store in Half Bay opened 10 years ago, and we have a program called Enviro Tokens. When a customer brings a reusable bag, we donate 10 cents to local organizations. So for the last 10 years, we've supported all the different nonprofits along the coastside that way, and Friends of Fitzgerald Reserve makes them more often it's a community favorite. So we've been supporting them since we opened, and so we're out here today.
Good afternoon.
Great, my name is Jade. I'm with the Marine Mammal Center. We're located up in the Marin Headlands, and we are the world's largest marine mammal hospital. So we rescue sick and injured marine mammals from 600 miles of California coastline, bring them to our hospital, rehabilitate them, and then our ultimate goal is to release these guys back out to the wild. We partner with Marine Fitzgerald Reserve. We work very closely with them. My job is primarily working with young school groups, educating them about the issues that some of these marine mammals face, things that we can do to help these animals, and then of course always spreading the message. One of the most important things that we can all do to help these guys is to give them lots of space, leave seals be, not interrupting with their natural behaviors and getting them in any kind of trouble due to human interaction.
My name is Michelle Beasley, and I'm the Executive Director for the San Mateo County Parks Foundation. It's our mission to inspire people to care for, learn about, and enjoy San Mateo County Parks. There's 22 parks in the San Mateo County Park system. Fitzgerald Marine Reserve is one of those. We support wonderful projects and programs in San Mateo County Parks.
No matter if you're here or anywhere else on any coastline, be aware of what you're putting in the ocean, be aware of what's going into the storm drains, and be aware of the pollutants or even the plastics that you're using, because they really are an issue. They're having issues. They're constantly finding animals with too much plastic in their system. Obviously, they can't metabolize it. Be respectful of any wildlife.
Well, I just want to say happy anniversary to Fitzgerald once again.
Congratulations.
Yes, and being there, guess what? I have learned one of the nicest things there. The biggest thing I learned is the volunteer spirit. Being a volunteer, it's like I would volunteer somewhere for 2 weeks and then never show up again for 2 years. But out there, the people who volunteered, they've been there for their lives 50 years non-stop. So their dedication is pretty much inspiring, don't you think?
Yeah. I think, you know, God willing, I should live to be 100. I will be at the next anniversary, the 100th anniversary for the Fitzgerald Marine Reserve. But as I said before,
you're reckless.
Reckless living. Time is limited. You know, time is precious. The thing I want to talk about mostly was the trees. The trees. And I'm wondering, I need to get one of those gigantic redwood trees. I got to put one of those in my backyard because, one, I'm the envy of everyone. Because everyone's like, oh, he's got a redwood tree. What do you do? You can't top that. You can't top a redwood. Well, maybe a palm tree. You could top it with a palm tree, but you know, those aren't, you know, actually, you know,
but you
native to California.
You still need to volunteer to keep those trees growing up, water them, feed them, and all that. You realize that, yes?
I see. So if I volunteer, what you're saying, if I volunteer, I can get a hold of a redwood tree.
Hopefully, yes.
Okay. Well, you know what? Then I'm gonna have to go. You know, have to make some calls and
volunteer. I think
for the sake of getting a redwood tree.
Yes,
really
I think it's a really respected thing to do, to go out and volunteer out of nowhere and then get your tree.
Yeah, exactly right.
Life is easy that way.
It's a win-win situation, really.
I agree. So for today, we will be wrapping up our Coast Life show, your guide to all things coastside, with the 5 videos you've seen. I hope you enjoyed each and every one of them, and I hope you learned so much more from what we have presented. And then if you guys wanted to learn more, you can check out the video, go into their websites, learn some more, understand when the next event will happen, and try to compete in the surfing if you're interested, or be a volunteer for Fitzgerald or for the EcoFest. And thank you for being with us so much.
Thank you.